Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. What happens when the school's bully gets beaten up by another student? Well, a lot of things happen, but the main one is he loses the authority he had before. That is, he drops in value because everybody else will see the new guy as, look, the guy got devalued. Therefore, other students will dare to challenge the old bully because they saw the bully's limitations. And the bully is going to go through a period of question. So he starts questioning himself, how strong he is. All he needs to do is, if he wants to become the school's bully, to work hard, train, and start over with little victims. And then he builds the self-esteem, and again his grandeur goes around, and everybody's gonna say, look at him, he's fantastic again. This is the case of the United States of America right now. I'm sorry to say that because I'm part of the United States of America, but sometimes you have to face reality by direct experience. You can't just stay in a classroom and say we're the best here, we're the smartest, without going and challenge your knowledge against others. So the United States of America, I think, lost in Ukraine. Militarily, it showed its limitations. I know it didn't go all the way, because all the way would have meant the destruction of this planet. But militarily, to the extent that they were eager to get engaged in Ukraine, they lost. And now they play the mediator. That's the first one. Economically, it seems like they get smacked by BRICS countries. The BRICS countries attacked the United States of America on the Achilles heel, which is the petrodollar. If United States of America loses the petrodollar, it's going to be another facing reality, which is crude. That's one. And now it's shifted towards China in an economic war because it can't fight the rest of the world, as it started with the tariffs. So it shows not only the military limitation in Ukraine, but also its economic limitation against China. And everybody else see that. Now what's going on over here? Countries, smaller countries that before 2022, February 24, were waiting. They wouldn't say anything because the bully was drunk and having a shotgun in a parking lot. Now they start talking and challenging, like China. China has never done what it's doing right now, challenging the United States of America like that. Neither is North Korea or Iran, even under the threats of attacks by the big bully. Why? Because the other guy, the other student, Russia, and the other one, China, fucked the bully up in direct confrontation, which diminished the bully's authority. What do I have here? I have two articles, and these two articles will show you how the United States of America will not dare do anything in the Korean Peninsula, and China challenges the United States of America in the South China Sea, not South US Sea or in the Gulf of America. All right, which I love. All right, let's start with the first topic. This comes from Russia Today. So what happened? Moscow hails North Korean solidarity in Kursk Region liberation. Russia is looking forward to further strengthening its ties with Pyongyang, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova has said. North Korea has shown a high level of solidarity with Russia by deploying its forces to help Moscow repel the Ukrainian incursion into Russia's Kursk region, Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Maria Zakharova has said. So, the long-rumored presence of North Korean forces in the area was officially confirmed earlier in the day during a televised meeting between Putin and his military general of staff, Valery Gerasimov, General. So, what does this mean? That means, because she said, I don't know if it's in this one or not, but in another video that I made, regarding this issue when they came out, and it was yesterday. Maria Zakharova says this, and this is the point of this subject, which is North Korea. Russia will never forget its friends. That means you helped us, that also showed Russia's limitation, or at least the Russians' willingness to use other people's lives than their own, so they don't stabilize their own country. Because remember, Russia fought in Ukraine, I think, with about 6.23% of its potential. Why do I say that? To seem like I'm informed. No, that's an assessment. It's an assessment of what the potential of Russia has versus what they employed. And I measure it in the number of manpower, which could be about 30 million. And I think they employ over there in this war not 600,000, because in 600,000 are people from Donbass, people from others, and so on. I think about 200,000 to 300,000 people. So if they employ 200,000 to 300,000 people, Russians from Russia, to fight in Ukraine, I'm not talking about the mercenaries or the employees and the volunteers and the guys from Donbass or the Koreans or others. About, let's say, 300,000. And Russia has a potential of about 30 million. If they start a general mobilization, like in the Second World War, they will be able, at 145 million people, to gather at least 30 million of Russian able fighters. And they have the AK-47s guarantee you and the munitions since Stalin's time. That's one. The other one, Russia did not use any submarines. Russia did not use any missiles that it still has, intercontinental missiles. Russia did not use nuclear weapons. So that's why the potential, what I said, Russia fights with these guys with this. Click, clock, 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 clock. Why? They don't want to rock the economic and social boat of Russia. That's exactly what the West tried. We're going to destroy them economically through the sanctions. We'll destroy their ruble. It means nothing. That means the guys are going to get their pitchforks and how do you call those, torches, and go to the Kremlin and do to Putin what they did to Gaddafi. And it didn't happen. Why? Because the Russians are European and they're smart. How do you like that one? So that was the reason why Russia did not collapse. Therefore, that's why the limitations of Russia, they employed the North Koreans. And North Koreans fought for the Russians only in Kursk as of now. That means in Russia, defending Russia, according to the treaty, signed treaty. If you get attacked, we, under the treaty, come and help you. That means if the big bully boy attacks through South Korea, they don't attack, or through Japan, or through Philippines, or whomever other vassal states are in the area, they dare to attack North Korea, the Russians have the obligation to intervene militarily. So Pyongyang, Mr. Kim Jong-un, the woodchuck, is playing basketball with Dennis Rodman right now. Okay? That's what happens. So again, the bully boy lost. That's the first topic. I'm going to go to the second topic, where China dares to challenge United States of America through the Philippines in South China Sea. That is, China is on the offensive. That's one rules in the art of war. When the enemy falters in one area, you focus all your energy in that particular area to make the person, I'm done, don't do it anymore. That's what you do. That means, and that's according to Miyamoto Musashi. Not with Sun Tzu, but Sun Tzu was of the same stripe. So let me show you what the Chinese are doing. And again, hands off China. And I guess the next one is going to be pretty soon Taiwan. I'm talking about the Chinese. Here, according to Sputnik, China declares jurisdiction over South China Sea Reef amid US-Philippines war games. So the bully boy uses vassal state. They're not allies, okay? Just put it to rest. And they're doing over there. I'm going to show you maps. The China Coast Guard has raised the Chinese flag over a disputed Spratly Islands reef for the first time in many years. Why? They can. The bully boy was smacked in Ukraine. And it seems like BRICS is going to finish up the whole thing. China has declared sovereign jurisdiction over Sandy Cay Reef, according to a report by a Chinese media outlet CCTV on April 26. The reef is located several kilometers, I'm going to show you the map, from Thimu island, which has been used by the Philippine Coast Guard since 2023 to monitor China's activities in the sea. China's claim to Sandy Cay effectively grants it 12 nautical miles a radius of maritime territory that overlaps with Timor, the Financial Times reports, citing concerns about the rising Sino-Filipino tension. No, it's Sino-American tension. So let me show you where this little island of Bethlehem is. Voila, mademoiselle, and right there. So this is not an island where you go over there and stay and drink your Bloody Mary somewhere on the beaches. This is a launching pad right there. But this is a military base. So beautiful over there, turquoise. So where is the reef, right? Guess where? This is the Timor Reefs, Eastern Reef, and this is in the Philippines. I'm going to show you more. I want to show you more. I'm going to show you more. I'm going to show you more. All right, so here we are. This is South China Sea. Now, what do we have here? I'm going to go. This is the Philippines, right? Right here. This is the guys in Cambodia and Thailand and Vietnam. And we have China and we have Taiwan here. I'm going to show you more maps because we got people involved. And by the way, the Philippines, right here, they're having war games with a country that is located right here. Or if you want right here, Hawaii. Or if you want right here, Alaska. Anyway, thousands of miles away from this area. So who's coming to whose neighborhood? Exactly as NATO came to Russia's neighborhood in Ukraine and Romania and Bulgaria and Czech Republic and Slovakia and Hungary and Poland and Baltic states, the same thing. They just help people fuck themselves up. So here is the situation. Right there. So again, China is China Sea is because China is, you know what I mean? Is East China Sea. That one was South China Sea. East is in this area right here. So it's closer, if you look at it, South China Sea, it's closer actually to Vietnam. You can make all this, you know, say, oh my God, what's going on here? How come the Chinese are right here? Right, and you got Hanoi and all that. So you got China in here, and you got right there the island. Oh, I don't see it right there. My bad. Right there. And you have, where is it? Where is it? Right, let me show you the Korean Peninsula right here, where these guys are going to be off. North Korea, South Korea, another vassal state, unfortunately, Japan, that will lose forever the Kuril Islands right here, the Northern Territories. Why? Because they're the vassal state of the same guys right here. All right, so this is it. I'm going to show you another one. South China Sea, Yellow Sea, Sea of Japan, all these guys, East China Sea and the Philippines. I think, and you got Taipei, obviously, which they say is actually, you know, Taiwan, Taipei is actually our guys. And here's the Philippines. All right, my friends, I think my point here, I tell you my point. When the bully boy gets smacked, everybody else's value increases. Why? Because the bully boy's value decreased. And what is the bully boy? The smartest thing to do is to reevaluate his potential, try to figure out, start running, see how good he is with the stamina, you know, stop smoking and drinking and go back to gym, do some sparring, some tameshiwari, break some certain things, see how tough you are, and then start over from low to high. Don't jump to the big one. Jump to pack, smack. Why? Because you create another psychological warfare. The bully boys are master blasters in psychology. They don't want to get smacked. They want to smack people without being smacked back. That's why the bully boy uses Ukraine now. It used Georgia before. It will use Poland. It will use the Romanians. It will use the Baltic states. And they don't want to be challenged directly. When they're challenged directly, they always bring their vassal states to push them first. Like in Yugoslavia, 1999, like in Iraq. Why didn't the United States of America just went alone in Iraq? It would have shown again the limitations. But they didn't. They want to live in a mirage. And that mirage is also promoted by our free mass media, the operatives, by the news and entertainment industry, by the professors, university professors, and you live in a delusion. That's dangerous because with a false self-esteem, false level of self-esteem, it could be deadly the next time. You go into a fight that you think, I'm going to win, and you get the fuck knocked out, or knock the fuck out, however you want it. So, bad news for us, and good news, because if we're smart, we restructure, reevaluate, like the Russians did after 2000, when Putin came into place. He said, okay, let's see the economy. Phew, stinks. All right. Military, goddamn old, rusty. How about the chain of command? Oh my God. What about the population? What about our culture? What's going on? So they restructured everything. The economy, the military, the culture, promoted to their children, to the next future generation. And that's how right now the Russians are not the Russians from 1991, 1995. In 1991 were still good, but then they lost in 1998, they lost all hope. Why? The West, the bully boy, won without a fire shot. Why? Because they had traitors in Soviet Union and they took over. All right, not good news for them, but I hope, you see, China, I don't think will stop. China will keep going until China gets really challenged. And the United States of America know that economically they will lose. We will lose. We don't produce squat. How are you going to fight them? We're not going to buy your products. Who dies first? They can produce their products over there on their little fucking Chinese semi-island. And we're going to do what? You got antibiotics? We're going to start doing it. After what? 20 millions die or something? And food and what? What else? What do we produce? Not even condoms. That's good. We're going to have an increase on abortions. My body, my choice. But with COVID, no. My body, my choice. No. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.